Welcome to Best by Decade Horror Movies presented by ActionNerd.com. It's where my daughter and I, Danielle, go through and look at the scariest movies by decade. Like and subscribe. Hey everyone, welcome back. This is Steve and my daughter Danielle.
Hello.
And we're here to do the best by decade of the 2010s. 20
Yes.
teens, 2010s.
2010s.
And yeah, and there's some different stuff on there. I almost said, is this like a new genre of horror? Because, you know, you didn't have your John Carpenters, you didn't have the staple Wes Craven stuff, and you got these new, fresh directors and storylines. And I think for the most part, for the most part, it really worked. I thought there was some really cool stuff in these. Do you think these were good on this?
Yeah, this is, as I've said before, once we start getting into like my generation of horror, I love these, the films that we're going to be talking about today. And I feel like they move more towards like psychological and gore. Like the themes, I feel like it's a little bit more like thriller, psychological, like alien-y. I don't know. So we'll see.
I think they also take on, not that the other ones didn't, but these take on more social injustice than other ones did.
Okay, yeah.
They're not afraid to go further, not just with the gore, but with questionable things that will actually make you mad or think or whatever. So I thought it was a neat decade. I can't even believe it's past, and we're 14 years past it, but of the 2010. But let's start off with our number one film, which is Get Out.
Yes. I had to think about that one for a second.
Yeah.
I remember it.
I watched it when it came out. Now, it came out in 2017. And there was Jordan Peele. Peele. Ring any bells?
Yes.
This is his directorial debut, and he's since gone on to direct some that just are hit after hit, whether it's you know, video on demand or in the theater. He's done a really nice job on these things. But it also earned him an Academy Award. Did you know that?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I had no idea what to expect in this movie.
Right.
None.
That's where I mean with the psychological stuff. You don't know what's gonna happen. It's not all like slasher gore, but it definitely has. I mean, the movies in this genre or whatever generation, decade have that type of gore, but this one was definitely more like psychological. Oh my gosh, what is gonna happen?
Yeah, you know, you immediately think, oh, this is going to be a movie about racism because the main character comes into a white world with his new white girlfriend or fiance to very, very white people. And so you immediately think, oh, what are they going to do? And then you're like, you don't know. And then all of a sudden, like the unbelievable happens. Like, what in the hell are they doing?
Yeah.
And it gave me vibes of older films like the Stepford Wives and kind of and we're not talking the modern day with Nicole Kidman.
Oh, that's what I think.
Yeah, we're talking about the old 70s one where it was just these people were robots or under a spell or whatever movie you want to even think about that's like that. But that poor guy's face when he's sitting in the chair, it's strapped into the chair crying and just, it's horrifying to me. I mean, they did a really nice job of making it scary. What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I like this movie. I saw it, I believe, when it came out. But yeah, it's just a classic good movie. I wonder, is it the director's first?
Yeah, it's his
like
debut.
Horror. Okay, got it. Yeah, so it was really good, and then he went on to obviously do a bunch more, which I think a couple more are on this list or on the next one. But yeah, it's a good movie. I think everybody should see it.
Yeah, super low budget, 4.5 million, and made 225 million. And I don't know anybody that doesn't like this movie.
Yeah, same.
I thought it was great. I'm trying to see. So there was a hidden meaning. The sunken place. They mentioned the sunken place in it. and that
Okay.
represents the silencing and marginalization of Black voices. So there is that social um, message in here in this
Right.
movie. But I thought really good stuff. Let's
Hmm.
talk about number two, Hereditary. Hereditary.
Dumb. I want to know your thoughts.
Okay, I thought it was great. I really
Really?
did. I thought the decapitation thing
That was cool.
was like,
That was
you
good.
gotta be kidding. Because how
Yeah.
often do you see that happen to a
Hmm.
child, I guess,
Right.
in a movie? And
Right.
it's one of those where I thought, oh yeah, that looks like it's gonna happen, but it won't happen. And it
Yeah. And then it
happens.
does. Yeah.
I thought the story was really good. I thought the acting was superb in it, but I
Yeah.
thought I heard you say dumb.
Yes,
Okay,
because
why?
I tried to watch this with my mom
Yeah,
when it first came out because everybody talks about how amazing it is. Everybody, it's always on all the top lists, and we
yeah.
didn't finish it because we thought it was so dumb. So I have never seen the full thing. I saw the decapitation. I've seen clips like the mom like yelling at the dinner table. I think so.
Yeah.
Obviously, really good acting. But I never got into it, and I never finished it. Maybe I should try again. But
Yeah.
even Tony, like he doesn't want to watch it either because he thought it was stupid when he watched it. So I don't
So
know. Maybe I have a weird opinion.
here's the deal with this one. It's marginal throughout the movie, and the ending brings it together and makes you go, "Oh, that was
Uh,
really good."
so you have to
The
stay for the
ending.
ending.
So remember the title. The title's Hereditary. So
Right.
that has a lot to do with everything on this thing. And I think again, the effects were great. The acting was
Yeah,
phenomenal.
I agree.
It was just one of those. I don't know. I thought it was great. There was creepy. That tongue sound has now become iconic, I guess.
I'm gonna have to look that up.
It's a tongue click sound that was
Oh,
improvised by actress Millie Shapiro, who played Charlie. There's some
okay.
creepy stuff in this. I think it's absolutely worth going back and taking a look at. But you
Yeah,
got to watch to the end because the end explains it, and it's like, oh yeah, makes total sense.
right.
I think it deserves to be on this top 20 list. Now, one of the questions that come out on comments was, is this in the order? And I don't think it is in the order of like the very best.
No, no, not at all. No.
So number three is The Conjuring. And I
Love
think
that.
everybody liked this. This is from 2013, and of course, based on the true story.
Hmm.
And you want to explain the whole
Well,
thing?
wait. Let me remind you. This is
The
the
Warrens.
Annabelle.
Yeah, this is Warrens. So
Yeah.
Lorraine Warren and Ed Warren
Hmm.
were supposed psychic investigators.
Yeah.
Um, Many people think they were complete frauds,
Oh,
complete frauds. They were
no.
on all the talk shows back then,
Really?
the network talk shows. They became famous. You could call them though, and they would come to your house on a ghost report or whatever.
Yeah.
Annabelle,
Which is real.
which is which is actually a Raggedy Ann doll,
Right. Yeah, I've seen it.
is
I was
still
gonna
at
go. Isn't it in Las Vegas now in that one guy's museum?
Eli Ross Museum. It might be. I don't know.
No, the other guy, Zach something. The guy that does
Zac Efron,
ghost. No, the guy that does ghost
Zach
hunters.
Galifianakis.
No.
Uh,
Okay. Either way, Raggedy Ann doll, and there is a place in Las Vegas where you can go to see a bunch of haunted and possessed things, and you literally have to like go in the room and say hello and like say hello to the thing, and you have to say goodbye to it, otherwise it'll
yeah,
follow you
I'm
out.
not going to
I
that.
can't. No, I wouldn't either. That's
Wouldn't
I don't
even
mess
know.
with real stuff like that.
Well, the
So
cool thing in this is it's all about a haunting, and the Warrens
right.
investigating. Um, Lorraine, who I
Mm,
don't know is still alive, but was alive during this, and this was made. When did I say it was made?
I don't.
2013.
Okay.
She's a cameo in the movie, so that's
Wait, really?
yeah. I think that's kind of
Oh,
cool.
I'm gonna have to look
Um,
for that next time I
she's in
watch
the
it.
lecture scene, so I don't know. If she's
Okay.
sitting
Okay.
in the audience or what.
That's pretty cool.
James Wan, does that sound familiar?
No. Who
Uh,
is it?
James Wan took a salary cut to ensure he had his pure creative freedom to do whatever he wants.
Is that the director?
Yeah,
The
yeah.
okay.
So, which paid off because this was a massive
Mm-hmm. Makes
box
sense. I
office.
like it.
Yeah. I thought it was great. And of course, it launched all sorts of sequels, and then
Right,
you
which
know
are
it's
just as good.
yeah, none of them have laid off of what
Mm-mm.
that was, and I thought it's really a good thing. I thought the atmosphere looked good, the acting was good. If you want to throw on a movie that I think everybody will enjoy, The
Yeah,
Conjuring is always one that you can go to. It's just um, it's just weird to hear. I listened to an interview about the grandson of the Warrens,
the real
and
people.
and he speaks that yeah, it was absolutely true. They were not
I believe
cons and
it.
all this. And then other people say, let me show you the proof. They were con artists and they did this, and this. So,
No,
so who knows? I mean,
I believe them.
yeah, you know,
What do you think? Do you believe?
I don't know. I think there could be that kind of weird stuff happening. I don't doubt it. So if
Yeah,
they get it and they get into it, hey, they make a little money on it, let them do it. But
yeah.
I mean, they're braver than me because I wouldn't mess with even if it wasn't haunted, I wouldn't mess with a Raggedy Ann that was
No way, me neither. I
spirits and
don't mess
stuff
with
like
that
that.
stuff.
No
Yeah.
way. So at number four is Chernobyl Diaries. Now this one
This is
is
my favorite.
well, this is one of Nan's favorite, and I remember
Good.
it
Yes.
came out in 2012. So I think I went to the theater and saw Captain America or something or
Uh-huh.
Avengers, and she went in and did this by
I
herself
think I remember that. And
in
I
Lake
feel like
Havasu.
I feel like I went to see it in the theaters too at some point. But this is one of my favorites. I can watch this one again and again, to be honest. I don't know why I like it so much. And then the whole lore of like the real event of Chernobyl,
Yeah.
is like and then like those documentaries that came out and TV shows that came out about it. Just like researching it is so eerie and spooky. So then the fact that they made like a horror movie based on it, I loved it.
So the fact that it could be real and could be supported with obviously the
Mm-hmm.
mutations of what
Yeah.
radioactivity does. Um, Many people thought it was made in Chernobyl,
It's taking away
getting all choked
your
up again.
breath.
Um, but it's actually just a bunch of abandoned buildings they found. So it was not
Oh,
in Chernobyl like a lot of people thought.
I mean
Um,
that makes sense. You have to have that would kill you,
yeah,
kind of.
well, here,
I mean, if it's
listen,
there long
here's
enough.
the weird thing that happened.
Okay,
After this movie, tourism to Chernobyl
spike.
skyrocketed.
Okay,
Yeah, so it says
brave.
following the film's reviews
Uh huh.
release, interest in visiting Chernobyl surged despite the dangers. Now, I don't know that they were actually booking trips to go into it, but
Maybe like
all
from
those
afar.
people that go in there and go to abandoned buildings, they're not supposed to
Yeah,
music.
which I love doing.
Well, that might happen. So this was cool. This was Bradley Parker, his first movie he ever directed, and
Okay,
he was previously just a visual effects artist, not just, but a visual effects
right.
artist. So how cool of him to get to do something like this
Hmm.
and really make an impact on people that saw this. I thought the trailer was great on it,
Yeah.
and the very, very creative on the way that they did the movie poster. So the movie poster has the radiation symbol into the
Hmm.
clouds. And, um, if you knew what happened in Chernobyl with the nuclear leak and the plant and everything just getting shut down and stopping in their
Hmm.
tracks to abandon the place, um, yeah, it's all there. So all they did was add mutated monster guys.
Which are scary.
I guess. Yeah.
They had some really good jump scares in this movie, I felt like.
Yeah.
And then the ending was really sad. And have you seen the second one?
No. Is it good?
Yeah. Well, now I'm thinking, is there even a second
Oh,
one?
that's great.
No, I'm pretty sure there is a second one and it was good. Or I'm gone crazy. I don't know. Either way, watch the first one. I love this movie. It's
Yeah, I
good.
think the second one was Forrest Gump
I knew I was
visits
getting ready for
Russia.
some type of joke. Dumb.
So he runs through Chernobyl and the
Oh,
monsters yell, "Run, Forrest, run." And that
so
was the
dumb.
Chernobyl Diaries. Or was it Chernobyl Diarrhea Part Two?
Yeah, you
Gave
just all get
everybody
diarrhea.
radioactive diarrhea, and that
Me
was a
after Taco
huge,
Bell.
yes, it was a huge issue. There was a Taco Bell in Chernobyl. So let's go to number five. And number five I just watched in the last year. Love it. A Quiet Place.
Sorry, it looked like you
I
were
was gonna
losing your
talk
breath
quiet.
again, and it's making me laugh.
Yeah, A Quiet
Okay.
Place. And there's only 90 lines of spoken dialogue in it. Little
Oh,
trivia
makes sense. Okay.
because it's the quiet place.
Isn't
I
this John Galifianakis? No, John
Yeah,
Krasinski. I mean,
John
yeah.
Galifianakis is and
I gotta move out of frame to wipe my tears away.
yeah, and Emily Blunt, his wife,
Yes.
and then Michael Scott was in it also. Um,
Yeah. Dwight
yeah,
Schrute was the
so
bad guy.
this was great. They're a real life couple, obviously, in real life.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
first time they worked together,
Oh, really?
and they wore motion capture suits to make the monsters. I thought the monsters were outstanding. And at the very beginning, where they're walking across the bridge as a family, and you think,
Hmm.
oh God, that's scary, but nothing will happen, and it does. And it takes the little kid.
Yeah, I've
I
seen
thought,
that.
this is
Okay,
good.
yeah.
This is going to be good. I thought everything that they thought about in it, from the fires that they set to let people know they were there, to how
Hmm.
they had to be quiet, how they um, locked everything up, even had, um, I think the first one she had the baby, maybe it was the second one. Uh,
Not sure.
she had the baby and they put it in a chest, and the chest had oxygen going into it. So when the baby cried, which you obviously can't control, it was
Oh,
in
yeah.
there. So it was cool. I also thought the kids that were acting were really good.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
the young girl and the young boy did a really good job of showing complete terror. And I thought the places that they shot the place were scary. Everything looked really, really good. And I thought that, it did have a Walking Dead feel, no question about it. But it was one of those that I thought, oh, I got to watch the second one because the second one had already come out
Right.
because I was late to the game on this one. Uh,
Yeah.
and I was also very pleased that the the third one came out, and I saw that on a plane a couple months ago. I think it's called Day One or Quiet Place Day One or something like that, or First Day.
Oh.
And
Mhm.
it kind of explains how the invasion happened, how the creatures got there.
Oh,
And
that's
that's
cool.
really well done. So they
Yeah.
did a really good job on all of these. But this in particular, I thought it was scary. It was absolutely suspenseful, um, a thriller. They worked great together as a
Right. Good
couple.
chemistry.
Yeah, I mean, of course.
Right.
And he really does a good job. And I started to not see him as Jim from The Office because at
Yeah,
first
I
that's all I
know.
could think of was him putting like something in Jello or being the guy. Where's Pam? All
Yeah.
that sort of thing. And I guess I haven't watched any of the action movies he's on.
I was gonna say you need to see whatever they're called. I don't. You know what they're called? Those crazy action movies
Action
that he's in.
Jim, I think.
No, it's like Jack Ryan or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, yeah,
Those I was forced to watch those because Tony likes them, but they're super good. And so once you watch those, you get Jim out of your head and you start
yeah,
seeing him as
yeah.
somebody
Because
else.
that's what I thought of when I saw this dorky
Right.
guy, but he was kind of a badass in this movie. I
He
thought
is.
he
If
thought
you
he was
watch
cool.
the other action movies, yeah, you see him. He's super badass.
Yeah, I saw in some movie, some not movie, some late night talk show, some host was like, "Are you really that ripped?" and blah blah blah. Because I guess he's all buff and stuff like
He
myself.
is.
And
Yeah,
yeah,
just like
he had
you.
a six pack and everything. And I thought, wow, that's great for Jim from the
For you and him.
for both of us to have that six pack is just a lot of hard work, but it's been paying off really
Proud of
well.
you, Dad. Really
Yeah.
proud of you.
Yeah, that and Majerno. Anyways, at number six though is something I thought was dumb as hell. It's called
What is it?
Babadook. The Babadook is just
Agreed. Dumb.
not for me. It was
Same.
it was so dumb, and it came out like, oh, you got to see this. It's super scary.
Yeah.
Won
I
all
don't know
these
why.
awards. I think it was at Sundance. Yeah, won something at Sundance, and it's about a thing in the book, a monster in a children's
Oh, okay.
book that comes to life as a
Mm.
shadowy monster, and it looks
So
stupid too
yeah,
when it comes to life. It looks scarier in the book
the
that
children's book.
pops. It's a pop-up book that looks at than it is in the movie.
Mm.
I did not understand why anybody thought this was great. It was official selection of Sundance. Uh,
Dumb. I agree.
I don't know what was scary about it. Even I mean the movie poster kind of looked scary. I mean, I think I've got an alternative one showing right now called Mr. Babadook. When it was released here in the US, it was just
Mm.
Babadook. And
Right.
with a name like Babadook, how scary is that? It
Yeah.
sounds like a
Dumb.
dog's name. And or I just went and had a horrible Babadook.
In the toilet.
Yeah, and I don't know. I found it stupid. I mean, the
Same.
acting was okay. Um, and it kind of does the whole like ghost. You see the ghost things. There's some blood and
Hmm.
it's psychological. It kind of reminded me of a little bit of Sixth Sense without the great writing and Poltergeist. You know,
Oh yeah.
where it's a
Okay.
mom and the kid are terrified, I guess you'd say, and I don't know. I saw nothing in this movie that frightened me or did anything but me say I just lost 90 minutes of my life watching this stuff. It was just not good. Um,
Yeah.
Here's one that I know you like. Paranormal Activity #2.
Two. Oh
And
yeah.
you know, I thought the brilliance of this was the marketing because they showed night vision cameras of theater audiences freaked out.
Oh
And
yeah. I remember that.
many now horror movies do that, even when they're dead.
Yeah.
But this did it, and and that followed the same formula as Paranormal Activity 1.
Yeah.
Did a great job of it. Now you bring in another family with a child. So the creepy thing is the kid in the
Which
crib.
is her sister. It's her sister.
Oh, that, yeah. All right. Well,
Get it
spooky.
right.
Spoiler alert. And a German Shepherd.
Oh.
And did you find this one scary?
Yes, I love all of the paranormal activities. They're great and they all link a storyline. You find out new things about like the whole story in general. Each one you watch, like will go back to like the endings of the first one and I love it.
What
But we
about the
all know
baby
your
outside?
opinion.
Like when it's out in the street crawling by itself?
Stop, you just got me scared for a second. I don't know why. That was scary to me. I can't pinpoint that exact scene. I mean, I guess I can remember that there was I know the baby in the movie, but why is that iconic? There's
Well,
something about
okay,
it.
I guess that was the most disturbing thing to most people was that the baby was out there by itself. Um, the interesting thing is this is set 60 days before the first one. So it's actually a prequel.
Yes.
It's not following the other
Yeah, yeah.
prequel.
That's why I like it because it like you find yeah, you just find out you see the sister starting to get possessed before, like it
Yeah.
actually happens in the first one. So I yeah.
Super low budget, 3 million bucks, gained 177 million and
That's not a lot, I feel like.
multiple endings again based on where it was
Wow.
released. Not
Yeah.
all of them were used, obviously. And the
Hmm.
fun thing is they put a bunch of hidden messages in there, intentionally subliminal and hidden for viewers
Okay.
to find. And that was part of the marketing. So I thought that was cool. Very
Yeah.
cool.
Hmm.
Um, Next is the 2017 version.
Uh
It. It,
yes.
Mr. Pennywise. And
That's good.
I really liked this one.
Me too.
I hated the first one. And
Yeah, it wasn't that scary.
no, and I love little old Tim Curry.
Yeah.
And but man, this one again, I think the things that were happening here, you had things with traumatic things with children, like in The Exorcist and
Hmm.
The Omen, and when the child was the bad guy, and you had a lot of times the child was the bad guy. Children of the Corn with that creepy kid and that creepy.
Right.
This scene where this brain is, and the little Mr. Pennywise talking to that kid and about his boat and rips his arm off.
Yeah.
I mean, what the hell? That was like, okay, that now we're going.
Right.
And I thought everything about it seemed very, very high budget. Um,
Yeah.
it was done great. The guy that did the Pennywise, and it's Bill Skarsgård.
Skarsgård, the hottest
Yeah.
hottie lamati ever.
Oh, is he?
Yes.
Well, his Pennywise stance became an instant meme, apparently.
Did you did you say
Me.
mem?
What do you call that?
Meme.
Meme. Meme. Became
Not
an
meme.
instant meme.
No.
Well,
RP.
that thing. It was until Deadpool Wolverine was the highest grossing R-rated movie.
Okay.
So at the time, it was the highest rated. Um,
Man.
it was, they deliberately kept the kids away from your hottie patati guy, Bill,
Yeah, I heard about that.
so that they would freak the kids out when they saw him.
Hmm. Yeah,
So,
my BFF Jess, who I work with, she loves this movie. This is like one of her faves. And she was telling me that the first time one of the little boy actors faced like it was the first time he had ever seen it. And he like it did like the super scary stuff. And then afterwards, Bill Skarsgård, whatever his name is,
yeah,
Skarsgård, was like, "Are you okay? Do you feel fine?" He's like, "That was the coolest thing ever." And he
yeah.
was like, "It's on the behind or the deleted or
Oh,
behind the scenes
is that
stuff
where
if you get the
they
DVD."
changed his Depends?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
little kid,
yeah, the
that'll
little
be a
kid
diaper.
Depends, the pull-ups. Yeah,
Yeah.
this
No,
was
they
just
loved
great.
it. The
It
kids
was good.
did.
It won a lot of festival type awards. I think it did really, really good.
Hmm.
Most people were very satisfied, as you
Yeah,
saw at Halloween when everybody wanted to be Pennywise.
right. Of
So
course.
it was a nice one. And now let's go to number 8, and let's go to uh hang on a second. Let's go to
Where are we
Midsummer.
going to?
Is it
Oh, yes.
Midsummer? It
Yeah.
is. So I just
That
watched
one.
this finally.
Thank God. It's weird. Isn't it so weird?
So it's very much a ripoff of Wicker Man, which we talked about in the 70s.
True. Yeah.
Very much a
Yeah, I
ripoff.
remember.
But I thought the coolest thing that I read about it was the
Hmm.
director, Ari Aster, which he had. What was the movie he did already on our list? He did.
I don't
Uh,
remember.
hang on. Hopefully it wasn't Babadook.
No way.
No, who the hell was it? Oh, I don't know. Somebody will find out. Anyways, um, he said, greatest quote of the movie. It's a breakup movie. That's all it is, disguised as a horror film. And if you think about it,
That's funny.
it
Yeah.
really was because
Right.
the guy was a jerk to her,
Yeah.
and
After the tragedy at the beginning. Do you remember the beginning?
yes,
It was so traumatic.
yeah, and
I got
and
chills.
um, and of course Florence Pugh or Pugh or
Pew
Pug
pew.
did a great job on this. I think there was some good acting and there was some pure poop acting in this.
Yeah.
Really like over the top, horrible, like right out of acting class failure or in this. She did a great job on it.
Yeah.
Of course, there was naked stuff,
Yeah. Those parts
sexual
were that was
stuff.
weird. Super weird.
Yeah, there was like a really weird ritualistic sexual act.
I didn't like
And
that.
yeah, I mean, but it did go with the movie. It wasn't like
Yeah. It fit. It fit.
unnecessary shower boobs or wieners in the shower or
Yeah,
anything.
weren't there wieners in there? Gross.
Yeah, there were
What do
there
you think?
were there were some. I thought the effects of the deaths off the cliff were
That was crazy,
insanely
right?
good. They were
That was
great.
good.
And then
Yeah.
the hammer to the head.
Hmm.
There was
Ugh.
some really, really graphic horror in this, and I
Yeah.
thought it was great. But again, all I could think about was Wicker Man the entire time.
Really.
Yeah, I thought the ending, which I unfortunately had caught the ending already, so I knew what was going to happen.
Yeah.
But the very, very ending, and spoiler alert, too bad, you should have seen it. It was 2019, was her smile at the end.
Yeah.
And that's where that quote from the director made all the sense in the world because, she had been, screwed over as a girlfriend. by
Right.
the guy in kind of. He hadn't completely broken up with her, but is planning on the whole time. Didn't
Yeah.
treat her very nice. And she smiles at the end as he turns into a crispy person.
Fair.
Crispy bear. Yeah. There was a lot of guts and weird stuff like that, but I think
Hmm.
all those effects looked really, really good. There was
Yeah,
the effects artist on that was fantastic.
I
Uh,
agree.
but they said that this is what made Florence a breakout star was this movie. And
Oh,
she
really?
went on
Okay.
to be an Oppenheimer, was the last name.
Oppenheimer. Isn't it Oppenheimer?
Well, it could be.
Well,
I'm saying it correctly as Mr. Oppenheimer would say.
oh, maybe I'm wrong.
But yeah, that was it. So that was number 9 at Midsommar. Am I saying
Yeah, I
that
think it's
right, Miss Oppenheimer?
sorry. I think it is Midsommar. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's some
something
whatever.
weird. All right,
Next movie.
here's one of your favorites, I'm sure.
Okay,
Split.
what? That one was creepy. Wait,
James
no, I was
McAvoy's.
that one. Okay, that one made me uncomfortable. I don't think I'd watch it again because of just the uncomfortableness of it.
Yeah,
But it was good, but a little uncomfortable to watch.
yeah. So this was revealed to be the sequel to Unbreakable, if you remember that.
Oh, I don't think I've seen that, but I know what you're talking about, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah. So
Okay.
it was M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong,
Right.
movie,
Our
and
favorite.
James McAvoy bulked up, heavily trained, and got bulked up for this because he's in like
Oh,
perfect physical specimen, kind of like myself. It's
yeah.
amazing. He broke his hand during filming, and no one realized it for a while, and he didn't tell anybody.
Oh,
It was intense.
dedicated.
But I thought his portrayal of all those multiple personalities were
Mm-hmm.
amazing.
For sure.
Like I
Yeah.
didn't doubt it or say that's stupid or I mean he was creepier than Hannibal Lecter to me in this movie.
Yeah.
It, it was
He was
just
that was good.
weird.
Impressive.
Yeah, so you had Unbreakable, you had Split, and you had Glass, and which is the Glass is the third movie in the trilogy. All of them very good, and it was a crossover because Bruce Willis makes a cameo in this one.
Oh, okay.
But I thought it was scary. Is that Joy girl? What's her name?
Well, I
Anya
can't see the
Taylor-Joy.
trailer, so I don't know who you're looking
Yeah,
at.
so it's the girl with the giant eyes that's in what Queen's Gambit.
I have no clue. I
Yeah,
haven't
and
seen
in the
Queen's
new Mad
Gambit.
Men, it looks like that's her in this trailer.
Okay.
I mean, it's been a while since I saw this. This came out in what,
Same.
20,
A bit
I think
ago.
16. So yeah,
Oh my gosh. That is a long time.
so a really good movie though. I thought
Yeah, I think
really,
it's good.
really good. It was not your traditional horror movie, but your
Yeah.
Silence of the Lambs, your escape style movie.
Yeah. Thriller, psychological
Yeah,
thriller.
you're rooting for the victims, obviously.
Right.
It's an abduction movie, and I just couldn't believe the way he pulled it off. His
Hmm.
his split personalities were creepy as hell, and the physical activities that he had to do this movie, like climbing on things, and it was scary. And
Yeah.
it is her in this movie. It was
Okay.
really scary. I just thought, wow, nice movie. Really,
Yeah, I agree. I
really.
wonder if he won any awards for his acting.
Uh, I don't see any.
Because
Oh,
it was good.
guess he wasn't that good. Next one up is Insidious.
Ooh, spooky, spooky.
Yeah, spooky, spooky. I remember going to a Comic-Con in Dallas. I think it was Dallas Fan Expo when this came out, and they had it set up in there in a trailer where you walk through it,
Oh, really?
and at the outside was the creepy lady thing,
Hmm.
and you put your head in her neck. I got a picture of that. And you
Yeah.
said, "Who is that girl with you?" I said, "That's the statue of this Insidious thing." Because it
Right.
looked good. I mean, they did a great job on it. It came out in 2010, so 14 years.
Really?
Yeah, 14 years ago. Again, James Wan in it again.
Okay. There you go.
WAN. teamed up with Lee Whannell. So James Wan is Saw, in case I
Oh,
didn't say it before.
no,
So
you didn't. And
so
now I
that
made a
team
connection.
teamed up
Okay.
again. Another budget horror, 1.5 million. That's it.
Okay.
Made 97 million. They
Not
used a
bad.
song that you probably don't know of, but I remember very well in the 70s watching Ed Sullivan, if you can remember,
Okay.
called
What?
Tiptoe Through the Tulips by Tiny
Oh
Tim.
no. Tiptoe to the
Oh,
tree,
very,
tree.
very good.
I
Very
know
good.
that song because
Yeah.
of it's always
So
in horror things, like
they
videos,
use that
especially.
in this to
That's a
be,
scary song.
it is to be creepy. And that used to be a very cheerful, oh, yeah, look at this weird.
Really? It was
Yeah.
never anytime I think of that song, it is creepy horror. So it's
Yeah.
weird that it was ever supposed to be a chipper
Yeah,
song.
he was like somebody you didn't know what he really was when he come on show, and he was very
Hmm.
kind, very nice
Yeah.
guy. But one of those people that you said in school, oh, there's the weird kid. That's Tiny.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Uh,
I thought this movie was really scary, really good, and it was broken into two parts. It was a chapter structure horror movie they called,
right.
and I thought it was good. I would recommend it to anybody.
Same.
It was very scary, and I loved it. Loved it. And then at number 12 came Sinister.
Ah, this is the one I meant to say. Ooh, spooky.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
one's good.
Well, tell
I
me
like
what
this.
you liked about it.
Well, okay, this is the one where the guy watches the film, right? I don't know if you see it on there. Well,
Yeah.
the old.
Yeah. The movie poster has the
It's
old projector.
okay, yeah. I it's so traumatizing. I think I watched the beginning of it a couple weeks ago and then I fell asleep. But I've seen it obviously a million times before.
Yeah.
But the clip of the people all being hung from a tree
Yeah.
or being thrown into the pool with like bricks and on the, lawn chair. It's so creepy, traumatizing. Like just no sound, just well, I don't know, maybe there even is like a little bit of sound of hearing it, but it's just sad. That kind of stuff makes me so sad, but that makes up a good horror movie, I guess, if you're emotional.
So there was a study done in 2020, and this was
Okay.
the scariest film.
I could see that.
It's
It was good.
scientifically the scariest film movie ever made based on heart rate data.
What I want to know what other movies they would have shown then. I'd be curious to know more information about the study. Because like what else did they show them? Dumb ones? Babadook?
Forrest Gump and Chernobyl and Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Yeah, okay, there we go.
So the cool thing is they use real Super 8 films, which is what I had as a child. That's how we
Okay.
shot our film.
That's what that
Yeah,
thing is?
Super 8 film. And then Ethan Hawke was in that. He's always good in everything. He was also in Black Phone. Uh,
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay.
Good stuff. So I thought everything was great. Here's what's cool about this movie. The
Okay.
director intentionally put no jump scares. No,
I was scared though.
but you're scared the entire movie,
Yeah,
and I
that's
think
true.
that was probably part of the study that why they went after this is as a study is to measure your heart rate because there weren't the traditional,
Yeah.
jumped out
It
yet.
was probably like consistently high heart rate versus just like splats of
Yeah,
high heart rate.
because I mean, they
Okay.
had the strobe lights, they had the guy carrying an axe, they had creepy kids in the living room, they had, you know,
Yeah.
so I thought there was some jump scares. Maybe they don't get
Same.
closer. There's a
Yeah.
part even in the trailer where they're watching a movie and a scary face goes right in front of the film.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Jump scare. So that's
I poop my pants.
that's right. That's a poop your pants jump scare. We need a meter for poop your
Yeah,
pants.
you should put a
Damn
poop
it.
emoji.
So next one is Cabin in the Woods, and I thought this was brilliant.
Yeah, I just watched this.
Absolutely brilliant.
I think I watched it on Friday or someday. I watched it this weekend.
That came out in 2012, so 12
Hmm.
years ago,
Yep.
almost 13 if you think about it. We're in October.
Crazy.
Um, the whole idea behind it was to deconstruct the horror tropes. The movie was
Yeah.
made as a satire of traditional horror movie cliches and flipping the typical genre stuff on their head.
Yeah.
I thought amazing.
Yeah.
What?
I never okay, so I had seen this when it first came out like a while ago when I was in college or whatever.
Yeah.
And I didn't really like it then. I don't know why. I can't remember. So then Tony, my husband, liked this movie a lot, and so he told me we should watch it again. And so we watched it this past weekend, And I think I can really appreciate it for the exact reason of why you said it was made. Like the like flipping the script, like
Yeah,
almost like an inside look into horror. It's not what you would normally expect, obviously, because there's people in the control room like
right.
controlling it and then, you know, it flips on them. So I can really appreciate this movie because I feel like it's very unique. Are there any movies that are kind of like this where it
I
like
don't, you know,
I
not
don't
a horror. I
think
mean,
so.
I immediately went to the Truman Show, the Jim Carrey.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
But I thought, like, not knowing how this was going to be, I
Right.
thought looking back at the movie poster was brilliant. Absolutely
Yeah.
brilliant. Almost looks
Yeah.
like a Rubik cube of a cabin
Hmm.
being twisted, and um, it was cool. Now, what's really cool is Chris Hemsworth is in this, right? Thor.
Yes, he is.
And he was filming Thor at the same time, but he
Oh,
wasn't a
really?
big deal until
Yeah.
after Thor. So this was kind of like, yeah, he'll do this too. He needed the cash,
Hmm.
I guess, or whatever. And then after that, man, he was a household name. You couldn't touch him. But I thought it was
Right.
a really good, fun film. And
Yeah.
you know, I'd give this a recommendation as well. I thought they did a good job on the whole thing.
Yeah. It's interesting to like, because when you're watching horror movies, you don't like deconstruct it and like really, it just, I feel like this movie really puts you inside, almost like you're in a video game where you're selecting like what's going to come out of the door. And
Right.
you just see all these different aspects of horror all around you. And so I think it was really unique.
I thought so too. I thought it was great. So
Yeah.
in 2019 came the next one, and this was weird because I never thought we'd see a second Shining, and this is Doctor Sleep,
Mm,
is the second part of The Shining. Now,
okay.
here's the problem with this one.
Okay.
Everyone thought this was going to be scary and horrifying like The Shining.
Right. That's
And
what
it
I thought.
and it was more of a drama, right,
Yeah.
about Danny, the little kid.
It wasn't I
And if
didn't
you
like it. It just dragged on and on and on. And it was so long, although I don't even think it was actually long, but it was just it wasn't yeah, I was expecting scary horror and I got a drama, a boring little drama.
Yeah, I didn't care for this, and I read up on it, and it's very split. Some people
Really?
thought this is exactly what needed to happen to kind of tie things up. Others
Okay.
felt it didn't tie up anything. It was complete waste, and they were let down because the poster is um, the little boy on the tricycle down the hallway of
Right.
a hotel, and all red, so very much
Yeah.
like, remember we talked about the trailer for The Shining,
Yeah, just the
boy
blood
disappears the
coming
blood.
out.
And,
Hmm.
you know, I don't know that this was scary at all or anything other than telling a story about, you know, some of the haunting things. It even showed the tricycle part in the trailer, you know,
Oh
actually
yeah.
not just the poster, but the actual stuff. So I wasn't really thrilled with this one at all.
Yeah.
I don't recommend it.
Two poops down.
Yes, I mean Stephen King approved this thing. He thought this.
Maybe he wasn't like too involved in it,
No, he
but
actually was, and he really liked how
okay.
the director Mike Flanagan handled everything. And I thought, well, Stephen King must have been drinking at the time still
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it wasn't. I mean, there were some scares in it. There was some creepy stuff. There was
Yeah.
like the rooms moving and things like that, and um, the psychological thing. You don't know if that was happening or if it was in his mind or all that. So
Yeah.
it wasn't something I would say, oh, I
Yeah.
got to go see that, or anybody else has got to go see that. They did have
Agreed.
that one part where he's peeking through the door like Jack Nicholson did,
Yeah.
and then that was about it. So
Yeah.
that was number 14, Doctor Sleep. Um,
Sleep.
then comes Annabelle. So
Oh,
you saw The Conjuring, and
yep.
now you got Annabelle. Annabelle, of course, um, is based on a real life Raggedy Ann, as I said earlier, and it's kept in the Warrens Occult Museum. And
I would appreciate if we could show a picture of the real life Annabelle doll,
oh,
please,
yeah,
on the screen so our
she
viewers can
looks like
see.
this. That's that.
She does.
So there's a dramatization of what the real
Dumb.
life Annabelle looks like. Um, Obviously, the spin-off success of The Conjuring And it started what they now call the Annabelle universe. So just like you have the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the MCU,
The
this is the
Annabelle universe.
Annabelle. Yeah. This Alfie Woodward
Okay.
plays Evelyn, reported strange occurrences during filming, including an unexplainable injury on the set.
Well, I
Yeah.
could see it. You're dealing with possessed objects, and even though it's not the exact object, you're still bringing that energy around.
Yeah.
Spooky.
Guess who produced this?
I have no clue. Oh, wait. Uh, DJ Khaled.
Yes.
Another one.
Yes. Right after a freak off party. No, it was James Wan.
Oh, he's back
Yeah,
again.
back again. So again, he's shaping these movies because
Hmm.
of the success with Saw. He helped shape the creepy doll's on-screen presence, which I thought
Okay,
were super creepy
for
because
sure.
Raggedy Ann would not work for this.
No, you
I
need
mean,
that creepy thing.
plus they'd probably have to get licensing, and I don't think
Oh yeah,
groups that
did
manufacture Raggedy Ann would want it
yeah,
portrayed as a
yeah.
satanic possessed doll.
That's true. That's
But
true.
this is another one that I would say absolutely go watch. I
Yeah.
recommend it. I thought it was great. Acting was great. There wasn't stupid scenes in it. There wasn't like, oh,
Hmm.
that's really dumb. It was like that little kid running through the door and turning into a big lady. Scary,
Big
scary, scary.
lady.
Well, normal size lady. She went from
Uh,
little person, well, a child to a lady. It was good. It
yeah.
was
I
good.
think that I agree that this is good, and I feel like this one really scared me to the point of like goosebump type of scary. And so if it gives me goosebumps, I feel like that's a good sign. So
Yeah.
I agree. Definitely watch this one. Obviously, watch the first one first, and then go to the second one.
Yeah, the best is that lady turning into a big lady, or the girl turning. Anyways,
Yeah.
that's Annabelle. Um, Next up is another Jordan Peele movie, and this
Ooh,
one,
is it
Us.
okay? This is my favorite. I
Yeah.
love this
You've
movie.
had like
I
five favorites on this, sir.
I know, but this one's so good. I even recommended it to Nan, and I'm pretty sure she watched, or it might have
We
been vice
we,
versa.
we watched it. Yeah,
Yeah, good. I'm so glad because the ending is so like, oh my gosh,
it is
we're not
perfect.
gonna spoil it, but it is so good. I love the music in it. There's this one song, like a rap song in it that they play when the
Was it
people are
that
like, wow.
You know you like it by High Profile, available on Apple Music and all streaming platforms?
Oh, first that took me a second to. No, it wasn't that. Your
Oh,
iconic song.
it
No,
was.
I can't remember what it was, but this one is just so good. The ending just makes it perfect. I totally recommend this one.
Yeah.
It's spooky, it's gory, it's so suspenseful, and just weird. And then that ending just made it all
And it's
perfect.
violent and it's gory and it's I thought he did such a great job with this.
Yeah,
I became a fan of Jordan Peele's work after watching this.
same.
The first one was great too, but this one, and this came
This
out
one's better.
2019. Yeah, I agree. And the movie poster was scarier than hell. So it had,
Really?
yeah, it had the little girl
Yeah, with the mask.
with the mask and her eyes all buggy up, one
Yeah,
eye, and it's just says us underneath. Very, very scary. I thought
yeah.
the story was so creative,
It was.
super, super creative.
It's scary if you really think about it. I wonder if it's true. Anyways,
Well, there's something I want to talk to you about after.
stop.
Yeah, it was really just a great movie, and um, I just couldn't get over the concept of it, and then the creepiness of the actors that were
Yeah, the other people,
the other ones. Yeah,
like the little boy with the creepy mask and the just crawling
yeah.
around being a creep.
I
Yeah.
also liked how they edited it. Like, there's a scene where she chokes her real fast, and it's just
Uh-huh.
like the hands are here, and then boom, they're there. So it's a real fast edit.
Yeah.
That's a jump scare. I thought it was just great. The
Yeah.
baseball bat scenes are always good. There's the
Hmm.
scissor stuff is insane. It's just
That one when they break into the other family's house and don't they like try to call the police, but then the Alexa just plays the police. the band, or is it called Police or The Police? I don't know. That's
The Police.
okay. Sorry, I know that's embarrassing. I'm younger. I don't know. Anyways, and yeah, that I thought that was cool because it's like bringing in the technology that we have. If we were to call the police, are we going to call the police, or is it just going to play a song?
Yeah.
And that's what it did. So I like
I
that
thought that
movie
was a great play on the technology. It was really well done.
for sure.
Okay, let's go to this pile of poop.
What?
This is Tusk.
Yes. Wait, let me preface this.
Okay.
We
2014.
hold on. My dad and I had not seen this, and I kept seeing TikToks of this so traumatizing scene of this man looking like a walrus, and I didn't want to watch it because it wasn't a picture of my dad, but but I didn't want to watch it myself because obviously it's a really stupid movie. So I told my dad, I said I want it on this list, but I know we haven't seen it. I just want to talk about it. Well, my dad actually paid what $3.49 to watch it.
$3.49, and I'm suing him to get it back.
Yeah. Talk about it. How great was it?
It's horrible. It's horrible. Here's the other thing. I watched probably 3 or 4 horror movies that Justin Long was in.
Yeah, he's in a lot now. I don't know why.
Well, no, it was back then because hopefully everybody stopped employing him. I didn't think he's good at all. I thought he's horrible. This was actually inspired by a podcast. And I was talking to, we had everybody over last night for a barbecue. I was talking to him. Nobody believed me that it was inspired by a podcast by Kevin Smith, who ruined He-Man. But there was a discussion of a bizarre real life ad that said a man is offering free room and board if anybody would dress as a walrus for 2 days a day on his podcast. That's what inspired this whole thing. So basically, this movie is about a guy that does podcasts with Justin Long, and he answers this ad that says, "I'll tell stories," and he's in Canada or something like that. I've been on see it a long time. If you want to hear my great adventures, rip off my phone number, call me, and come and listen to my stories. So this old man is there. He's in a wheelchair. That's not true. He's in a wheelchair, but he's not really crippled. Anyways, he does some stuff, drugs up Justin, and Justin wakes up with one leg ripped off, amputated.
Yeah.
And then it ensues with him being turned into a walrus. And I will tell you, the makeup on it is so stupid.
Really? I think it's so scary.
I could have glued brown trash bags to me and made 2 white paper plate and cut them out to be Tusk, and I would look better than his dumb walrus thing. It was horrible. And then there's a walrus fight where the old man dresses like a walrus, and then he teaches him to swim. And then, spoiler alert, his girlfriend that was searching for him with his best friend, who's now sleeping with her, finds him at a zoo and feeds him fish. The end.
Yeah, and then he cries, and it's like walruses.
Good, I cried too. I cried that my $3.49 was gone.
Yeah,
that was stupid.
I know, but I needed you to see it. I needed to talk about it. I don't know why this walrus is so stuck in my mind. It's almost like Leprechaun. These faces just get stuck. It looked traumatizing to me, but
here's the crazy part: Johnny Depp's in it.
Where?
Plays the eccentric detective Guy Lapointe in heavy makeup. I had no idea it was him. You could tell it was some dumbass actor in makeup.
Right.
It was Johnny Depp acting like a dumbass actor in makeup. It's really that bad. And I think he's the last scene in the movie too.
Okay.
So if you just want to watch the last $3.49, it's a waste of money. Anyway, let's move on to The Platform, which was really strange.
That one was super strange.
Yeah. So it's
all in Spanish, right?
No. Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. It
because
it's a social commentary movie, and the movie's a metaphor for social inequality, where the people at the top of the platform
makes sense.
Well, and the people at the bottom starve.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about the premise of how the platform works?
Yeah, so at the very, very top, these people are in jail, I think, or somewhere. Yeah.
They're being confinement.
And so the very top, they have this big, huge platter feast of all this different food. And so, you try and strategize with everybody so that everybody gets some type of food, but that obviously doesn't work because people are human and they get crazy. And so then they'll get some time with the food and then it goes down to the next people. And then, obviously when you're at the very, very bottom, you have the scraps and nothing. And so people start going a little crazy.
Yeah, I was not a fan of it. Now, it was a big hit in People's Choice Awards at the Midnight Festival and the Toronto International Film Festival.
Okay.
Very, very limited special effects. It was all practical special effects, which I loved. And it was meant to create a very claustrophobic, in jail or imprisoned atmosphere, which it did. I just wasn't interested. Like, if they didn't eat, okay, they didn't eat. They're at the bottom. Must have done something bad. Okay, done.
Right.
It just didn't. It didn't hold my interest. I could care less about it.
Interesting. I thought it was good, but I don't think it's like I would watch it, or I would, let me start over. I don't think I would recommend somebody to watch it, but if you're bored and you needed something to watch, you could watch it. But I mean, it wasn't like, oh my God, that was amazing, but it was
Yeah,
interesting to watch.
yeah. I'd probably watch soccer before I'd watch that.
Golf.
Who knows? I don't know. It just wasn't anything for me. And also with the same, and a lot of people disagree. Next up is The Purge, and I didn't care for it at all.
Really?
Yeah,
I like it.
2013, very low budget, made for $3 million. So I appreciate because it doesn't look like a cheaply made movie at all.
No.
Very well acted. Everything about it was great on the acting, the
Hmm.
scenes. It just it what I just didn't really
What
care
did you
about.
not,
I didn't care
did you
about
not like the
all the
storyline?
yeah, I didn't care about all the violence. Like I get it, but I don't get it. I mean, it didn't make a lot of sense to me with all the violence, and it just I just didn't care about it at
Hmm.
all.
I liked it, and I liked the franchise that came out of it and the ones that came to follow.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, I kind of disagree. I really like this movie because the whole purge scenario is scary to think about, like if that were to ever happen. And so I really liked how it played out. It kept you on the edge of your seat. And then just with the reality of the world today, I mean, you're like, this could maybe happen. I don't know. It's a little crazy pants, but it's so that made it a little bit scary just thinking about, oh my God, what if they did just like take away all the rules for one day and let people do whatever they want? And you can't, and the scary part is like, they're like, ambulance and 911 services won't be available. Like that's so scary to think about, just not being able to call for help. And so you just have to defend yourself. And the rich people obviously are able to defend themselves easier because they could just, lock their
yeah.
windows with crazy steel
Oh,
doors and go in a safe room. So I really like that whole concept. It was like really creepy and good to me. So I like that movie.
I think the creepiest things were the masks, but I thought it was very interesting how the whole idea
Yeah.
came. The idea
Yeah.
came to the writer director James DeMonico after a road rage incident where his wife said, "Wouldn't it be great if we all had one free murder a year?"
Yeah.
And then
Okay.
he
That's
went with it.
interesting. That's,
So, I mean,
yeah,
I get it. Driving, I'm not the
me
uh,
neither. I'm
yeah,
throwing birds left and right.
yeah, me too, and probably should never do that. But
Yeah, I know.
um, yeah, I mean, it wasn't my cup of tea. I just didn't like all the violence. I get it. It was
Yeah.
well written, well done, but I just didn't really care for that type of stuff. So I didn't. Next one comes up is the 2018 Bird Box with Sandra Bullock.
Did you watch that?
Yeah, I watched it
Okay,
when
good.
it came out, the week it came out,
Oh,
which
good.
was
Same,
September
same.
21st of 20, what did I say, 2018?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought it was cool. The problem was that the film sparked this bird box challenge where people tried to perform tasks blindfold.
Okay. Wait, speaking of that, I was a teacher at the time. And so all my third graders on the recess on the playground would play bird box and they would all be running around and we had to have a classroom discussion to talk about how we're not allowed to do that anymore. Like we had to talk to all our kids because
Yeah.
yeah, it sparked this whole bird box challenge and they were going around being crazy in the playground, bumping
Yeah,
into things.
Netflix actually had to issue a warning about the
Yeah.
dangers of the challenge of I mean being blindfolded. The cool thing was this film, it was about a terrifying monster, right? Do you remember what the
Yeah.
terrifying monster looks like?
No, did we ever even see him?
No, you never saw it,
That's what I
which
thought.
I
Okay.
thought was really cool. You
Yeah,
never saw it, so it was all left to the imagination of the audience what that
which
monster.
is good.
Very good. Um, though they did design it, and it was shown, and they cut it from the film.
Good, because sometimes when they show the monsters, it just gets stupid.
Hmm.
So I can appreciate them just not showing the monster. Just don't let it happen. Let's just imagine it in our minds, and it'll be whatever scary thing we can think of. So I like that.
So for Netflix, this was their biggest hit ever. 45
Okay.
million Netflix accounts
Wow.
viewed this. So that's
And then
that's like
then they canceled their 7-day subscription right afterwards.
yeah, yeah, I guess. I don't know. I thought it was great. I remember when it came out, all the hype for it.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
it had a silent ending. That's what they're called. That's the movie's ending is different from the novel, where the survivors are
There's a book.
permanently blind. Yeah. The
Oh,
film opts for a more hopeful conclusion, and I imagine
okay.
a sequel is what they were really hoping for. So,
Right.
uh,
Yeah. This one's a
yeah,
good one though. I
yeah,
think people
that's
should
number
watch it.
20 on our list. So we threw a bonus in there. I think this is your bonus, isn't it? It
What
is
is it?
As Above, So Below
Yeah.
from 2014. And I'll be honest, I started watching it. Um,
Did you finish?
no, I didn't finish
Dang
it.
it.
And
I like it.
I didn't even care to finish it.
Oh man.
I don't know if I missed something, but tell me about. I mean, it's in the catacombs, which is a real thing.
Right, which is spooky because if you think about the catacombs, you can go on like tours with sketchy people and go through the
Oh yeah.
catacombs. But what really is in the catacombs, we don't really know, or maybe we do, and I just don't know. But
No,
that's
there's
why I like
bones.
this.
There's skulls and bones. There's
Well,
bones.
I know that, but like what goes on there? Were there cults
Oh,
there? Were there sacrifices? Da 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 da. So this one kind of explores this theory or whatever that there's like a cult that lives inside there doing sacrificial things and creepy music playing and all this stuff. And so it's just a good suspenseful movie. I'm sad that you didn't finish it.
yeah.
But I think if you're into that like lore of just like real life places and like conspiracy theories of what is happening in there, like kind of like Chernobyl diaries. It's a real life event. Catacombs are a real life place. Okay, what do we think is happening in there? And
Was
so
it
I
like
like this.
Descent at all? Because I know they're down in there, like
Yeah, but it's less like monster things or those little bat creatures. It's more just like real cult people.
oh,
So
woof.
yeah, I think it was good. If if you just have something to watch, I'd recommend it. But clearly,
You
some
would?
people can't even.
Okay.
Yes, but I guess you can't. You couldn't even finish it.
I
So.
liked in the trailer where they started playing Elton John music on the piano they found down there. And
Oh, did
they were all singing Tiny Dancer. I thought that was probably the
yeah.
highlight of the film.
Okay.
But yeah, so there weren't any monsters in it. I know that there were statues that looked like The Oddity, a movie I just watched on Shudder with Nan.
Oh yeah, and I
And
watched your review, so I knew what
yeah,
they
well,
were talking
watch
about.
that because that's phenomenal.
I felt like I felt like I got a good glimpse of what it is that during when I watched your review that now I don't need to finish
No,
it
you do
or
need to
watch
because
it.
it's really good. It's really good.
All
But
right.
yeah, maybe I'll go back and check this out. Thank God I didn't spend $3.49 on it. But yeah, so that's it for our 2010
Yes.
countdown of the best of horror in in that decade. And
Mhm.
listen, there was some great stuff. I really enjoyed the Jordan Peele stuff that was coming out.
Yeah.
You saw how James Wan was now taking the lead of like a John Carpenter or Wes Craven. We still had Stephen King. I think Stephen King's been in every decade that we've talked about,
Yeah.
which is fantastic. Um, there's just I mean, I don't know what the standout would be. What would be the standout for you of those movies? Chernobyl?
Well, ooh, I have short-term memory loss, so I can barely remember what we just talked about. But I think Chernobyl, that one I can just watch over and over and over again. If I was gonna pick really super scary, probably Sinister or Us as more of a
Yeah.
psychological. So yeah, Chernobyl, Sinister, and Us. Maybe throw in Annabelle
So
too.
I really recommend Hereditary. or Hereditary, either one.
Maybe I'll
Both,
watch it.
yeah, those are good. Insidious, Sinister, The Conjuring, the Annabelle universe, all good
Hmm.
stuff.
Yeah.
Um, I I think there's some really good stuff this 2010s, and
Same.
it surprised me because going into doing these things, I thought I would be more satisfied with the 70s and 80s,
Yeah.
and I actually look at these and think, there was some really good storytelling here. Lots of
Yeah.
lots of new exploration of the slasher and stuff like that, 70s and 80s. But here they really got into the stories where you could follow along, identify with, and really enjoy. And I thought that, hey, that's some cool stuff. So
Yeah.
loved it.
Agreed.
Well, that's it. Please like and subscribe. So here's how this like and subscribe, because I'm new to this YouTube stuff, this 2YouTube stuff. Um, if you like it and you make a comment, the algorithm makes this video appear in more people's searches. That's it. So I'm not making money off of this. I could care less about that. I just think it's funny and fun to do, especially at my age. So try this, do that. Like it. Also, if there's some stuff that you'd like us to watch, please let us know in the comments. If
Yeah.
you have any comments, positive or negative, and we saw some negative ones from some assholes the first time. So keep those coming because they're funny
To
too. Yeah.
yourself. Oh, okay.
No, those are funny. I think it's hilarious. But anyways, um, thanks a lot for watching, and we will be back with our final one of the
Woo.
2020s. It'll be half the time because it's half the list. And
Yep.
other than that, again, like and subscribe and
And comment.
and comment, and we will see you next time.
Yep.
Bye now.
Bye.